This is death. Appropriately, I filmed it near an instrument of death, the cannon, in a cemetery. This is where we all end up eventually, some sooner than others. My name is Gregory Lyons. The reason I'm making this video is because recently I got into a big argument with this mother who proudly told me her son was shipping off to Iraq to fight in the war, and I said, poor bastard, and then she fired off some invectives at me because how dare I say such a thing when her son is going over there to ensure that I'm safe over here. The reason I'm making this video is to save lives, is to prevent people from going off and sacrificing their lives senselessly for what amounts to an illusion, a deception. Let me explain. First of all, let's discuss patriotism. The word patriotism comes from patria, meaning country. Patriotism is loyalty to your country. And that's understandable. Loyalty to the place you geographically wound up randomly in. Let's get on to the points. This video, and I'm aiming it directly at any young person, male or female, who's getting ready to enlist in the military. I would urge you strongly, before you actually sign those papers, to go to your local Veterans Administration hospital and to talk with people like yourself who have joined the military and have been shipped back because of injuries, obviously, dismemberment, maybe lost a limb, head trauma, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Because unlike the Call of Duty that you play when you're sitting in front of your television, where you can just hit restart or start another game, I think a trip to the Veterans Administration would show you how real this is, how very real these people are. When they get shot, there's no reset. They are affected for life, and these are the ones that were lucky enough to be alive. I'm not talking about the ones that come home in body bags with their lives ended and end up here, end up in a cemetery. I keep showing the cannon because it's a weapon of destruction and death, which brings me to my next point. A soldier who was returned from Afghanistan or Iraq, and ask if they felt that the injury that they've sustained was worth it, if it was justified. They give you these slogans. And the slogan, the current popular phrase is, they're fighting over there to keep us safe over here. Well, the first thing I'd like to ask you is, if you take a look at any of your local cities' homicide statistics, how safe is over here? Okay, ask the police who go after street gangs in the United States how safe we are. And these are people right here in the United States. So enough of that safe over there. How, and what is the threat? What is the direct threat? Do they think if we pull out of Iraq and Afghanistan that all the Iraqis and Afghanis will jump on a boat and come over here? And if they do, let's fight them over here on our own soil. But you know how absurd that is. They're really, it's a con. You're being conned with empty slogans. And you really have to think about the agenda. You know, it's said that these people die for their country, and that's wrong. They die for the passing whim of an administration that lasts for 4 years. But in this case, the administration keeps they kept the baton going. Obama has furthered Bush's agenda in Iraq and Afghanistan. So are you fighting for your country? No. You're fighting for an administration's agenda. You're fighting for the government. The government that's supposed to serve a people. And how loyal should anybody be to a government that's so willing to let its citizens die? Wholesale die, slaughter. How willing should you be to give your life to people who obviously don't give a damn about your life, about the value of your life, to your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband, to a government that wouldn't hesitate to kick you out of your house and throw you on the street, take away the place that you live and put you and your family on the street if you missed some payments, if you missed your mortgage payments. So where is this loyalty, this patriotism? It's misplaced. And you might say that's an anti-American sentiment. I might be accused of making anti-American sentiments, when in reality I'm making anti-war sentiments. Okay, war. Think about what is the logic behind a war anyway? What are you saying when you wager a war? I mean, all our lives we're taught that killing is wrong, that killing is immoral and just universally wrong. And then now the government tells you except when it's government sanctioned killing. Why are we killing? We're killing people who basically have philosophical differences than ours. So the message that's being sent out is, well, if you don't believe the way I believe, then you must die. We'll kill you. Behave as I tell you, or we punish you with death. Murder is always wrong. Just because you put on a uniform and they hand you a gun, you're still a murderer. And if you kill multiple people, then you become a mass murderer. No matter how you slice it. I also try to urge parents who would be so willing to send their children off to die to think twice about it. Think about what's most valuable to you in this life. Concepts, intangible concepts, or the reality of your son and your daughter. I'm filming this cannon because of the irony. Here it is in a cemetery. I would hope that someday we could bury all the weapons in a cemetery and just let people live and let love rule. I think love and harmony shouldn't just be words you find on greeting cards. They should be the way of life. War doesn't fix anything. War is wrong. Don't go into the war, or you'll end up here. That's all.